This is a review of the Puredown White Goose Down Comforter. This is a natural goose down, not a down alternative or down equivalent or whatever language they're using to try to pretend that the comforter you're buying is not really goose down. This has a cotton cover, 300 thread count, which is sufficient to hold in all of the feathers on a regular basis. This is a 600 fill. That is roughly in the middle. I believe the low end is around 300, the high end is around 900. For 600, that's actually fairly normal. This is an absolutely pure goose down quilt, not an alternative, and once you've used goose down, believe me, you don't want to go back to the alternatives. They really don't hold up. So let's pull this out and take a look at it. As you can see, this is double stitched on the edges, single stitched on the quilting of the various boxes. You do want these various boxes because the down feathers can shift otherwise. What you end up with is a lot of feathers in one lump, and then the rest of you is just being protected by a couple of layers of cotton. This appears to be well stitched. I'm not seeing any loose threads as I look through this. Now let's unfold it and put it out and fluff it up and see what we got. Alright, as I unfolded and fluffed, I saw a grand total of 2 tiny feathers that showed up in the folds. So the 300 thread count is holding, the cotton cover is holding these in. This is a little bit more of an off-white than a true white. However, you are really going to need to buy a duvet cover to go with this. This is dry clean only. And if you buy a cover, then you can usually buy one that is launderable, and then you just take put the cover on, take it off as needed, wash every couple of weeks, and that way save on your dry cleaning. If you do that, you shouldn't need to dry clean this more than once a year or so. So just keep that in mind as you're looking at this. A down alternative comforter usually doesn't require a separate duvet, so that is an added expense in this case. Otherwise, though, it fluffed out very nicely. It looks well made, well constructed. The stitches appear to be uniform along here, along all of these various panels, and each of the panels appears to also be uniform. And the down does fluff up as you play around with it. This would not be something that would be super heavyweight, suitable for really super cold weather, keeping you warm down to 40, 50 degrees. But this would be more than adequate for a typical house. Let's say you're lowering your temperature down to 58 degrees at night in the wintertime. This would have no problem keeping you warm. And in fact, it might even be light enough that you can use it as a cover in summer as well, depending on how hot it gets and how cool you keep your air conditioning. This is relatively inexpensive for a pure down comforter. And looking at the quality of the construction, the double stitching along the edges, and the fact that it does appear to be well made, I have no hesitation at all in recommending this. I'm quite impressed with this one.